Why? Why can I not see any further? Now that I possess both Monados, I should be at one with the passage of fate. Why does the vision end here? Huh? So Dixon has passed. Lorithia too. How can this be? Are Telethia growing weak? How could they be defeated by such worthless mortals?
This world belongs to you all. Create a world with no need for gods.
A world that has no need for gods. There is no world without a god. This world belongs to me!
Where are we?
What happened? It's nighttime. Is Ricky have bad dream?
Look down. Look at all the stars.
We're not on Bionis anymore. There's no land or sea either.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the main story of Xenoblade Chronicles. In the last episode, we fought against Dixon and defeated him at the top of Prison Island, and this time we have come here to a place that's known only in the game, is referred to as memory space. It's also sometimes referred to as the passage of fate. We've had some visions here and stuff before, but here we have something quite different. We have some spirits to deal with. As we move through this area, you'll see we'll face a few of these, which are basically visions of our previous enemies. Because these are visions, these do not have the skills and abilities our previous enemies possessed. This one is the spirit of Mumkar, Metalface, but it is not a Mechon. You don't have to Monado enchant or use anti-Mechon weapons against him. It's absolutely fine. Also, for those who hadn't realised, because I think I was surprisingly far through my first playthrough of this before I realised, it is Shulk's voice actor who's also voicing Zanza, because obviously Shulk was Zanza's vessel and all of that, so it's the same voice actor, Adam Howden, who is a very, very good voice actor. Also very funny, worth a follow on Twitter. I just got a lot of time for him because of his political views on the United Kingdom at the moment. But when we head through this one, we get to our next area of memory space. Now, you should be starting to realise that, obviously, as they say, we're not on Bionis. But the game's also being pretty fucking explicit with where we are. There's some interesting music in these fights, so I'll let it play.
I know! It's up to you!
Alrighty!
Now we're getting started.
Feels good, right? That was great, guys!
Nicely done!
I'm very glad as well for this red light they have, which takes you from the kind of the entry warp to the exit warp of each thing, because... Is that Halley's Comet? There's certainly a comet around here. There's also a real lack of moons to say Jupiter has like 60 plus moons. Spirited Adventurer, don't know what that is. That's really Mars. That landmark you can actually see just behind Shock's head there is called the Great Rift Valley on Mars. So they've definitely used a real texture of it. I suppose the same as with Jupiter, because that was definitely the red eye, the Great Storm, which is... One of my horrifying facts about Jupiter is that the storm that is the Great Red Eye on Jupiter has been going for at least 500 years. Like, it's just a storm cell that's been active that whole time. It's not a physical structure, Jupiter is just gas. But it's just a storm that's casually been going for 5 centuries. Probably more. We've only had telescopes that long. Much as Spirit Zord and Spirit Mumkar are not faces, well, they're not Mechon, The Spirit Telethia is also not a Telethia. You don't have to worry about Soul Read or anything like that. It is just a spirit. None of these spirits put up much of a fight, he says. Can you topple them? I guess you can. You have the little exclamation mark next to Final Cross, which usually means, yes, you can activate the little bonus effects. This guy's got a surprising amount of health, though. There we go. Well, we're getting a hell of a chain attack out of this, so surprising amount of health doesn't count for shit. Oh no, we just weren't doing much damage, just must have a surprising amount of defense rather than health. Yeah, moving around here is more than a little bit nauseating, so this red light that actually guides you for what is floor and where you're going is very helpful. Where do you reckon we'll go next? I've actually overshot the fucking portal. It's actually not what I expected. I was, like you, the first time I did this, I was like, well, if we did, you know, Saturn, then Jupiter, then Mars, obviously it's going to be Earth next. But not quite, but it is over there. We've got one more spirit to fight here, which is Gado. The game is basically just kind of warming you up at this point. So we'll just take out this guy relatively easily, I think. Oh, he does at least resist break. That is something. But, oh, he can't resist Sword Drone's 10, though. Few can. Oh, he's fucked off to use Laser Bullet. Oh, do we just... I'd fired up the chain attack. Oh shit, I thought I was behind him, but apparently I was just to the side of him. There we go, well, let's kill him with Final Cross. Much like the real Gado. Wonderful.
Now we're putting together. So this is what teamwork is.
We did it!
Teamwork at its finest.
So with that, have a think about where we are, why we're here, and what the next portal might lead us to.
It's beautiful.
Is that a ball of water?
So, you finally made it, Shulk.
It's you.
What is it, Shulk?
I cannot wait to see which path you choose. Let us meet again after you have made your choice.
Welcome, Shulk.
That voice. It's Zanza.
But he looks different.
I had planned to use the body obtained from Shulk as a vessel in which to dwell for the next millennium. However, I came to possess a great and unexpected power.
Maineth's Monado.
Correct. In addition to my own Monado, which you kept safe for me, I was also able to obtain a second weapon which holds the power of creation. Now I possess all I desire. There is no longer any need for the life of Bionis. I must thank you indeed, Shulk. You were of more use to me than any of my disciples. Now that I have the Monados, I can forgive you your betrayal.
Ha! You gonna give him a reward?
Precisely. I will have him serve as my new disciple. You will be granted eternal life and unimaginable strength. Death will be but a fleeting afterthought.
Are you so arrogant to believe that the High Entia... No. All life on Bionis are nothing but your playthings!
Playthings?
Yes! You don't know how it feels to have slain my brethren, after they had transformed into Telethia.
What are you talking about? A Telethia is a High Entia's true form. I did not transform them. I returned them. The Telethia are mere cells from my body. I conferred intelligence upon them on a mistaken whim, creating a primitive life form, the High Entia. They enjoyed a brief existence as sentient beings. For that, they should be grateful.
So this is the arrogance of a creator.
As I planned, the life of Bionis existed simply to serve as my vessels and my food. Bionis is nothing more than an accumulation of their corpses and life energy.
But though you feign omnipotence, the High Entier still confined you to Prison Island. That is how limited you are.
Confined me? I was merely resting there for a while. I was wounded in the battle with Monolith's vessel. I simply awaited the day when a new vessel, revealed to me in a vision, would be born. Until I was born. Precisely. I intended to inhabit your body and once again do battle with Monolith. However, I had no idea that I would defeat her so easily.
Monolith.
You did a great deed in granting me a new Monado. I will gladly take you as my new disciple, Shulk.
Never! I don't want to be your vessel or your disciple. I just want to live my life as a Homs in a world without you!
That is most regrettable. You could have entrusted all to me and attained peace. But perhaps the vision of mortals will ever remain limited. Using one's power to change the world. That is a right possessed only by gods.
Is that why you laid waste to Mechonis?
Of course. Along with the beings called Machina, who followed Monolith. They had evolved and become insolent under her protection.
So you're saying us Homs are next in line, eh?
You are correct. You yourselves have proven that Homs are a dangerous species. How unfortunate. I had a desire for friendship. But granting intelligence to the lives I created was a mistake. A god should not long for friendship.
You're wrong! Monolith chose to exist alongside us. She grew to consider us her friends. You should have accepted that. But what you were hoping for was not friendship. You wanted worthless slaves. Our lives as food.
Just as I suspected, it appears that I was mistaken to grant free will. However, all will soon be over. The Telethia will exterminate all life on Bionis. I will then create a new world. Just as I have done many times before.
We will not allow it. We cannot. We will stop you!
Ooh, we really get into some of the fun philosophy here in the Sentient Genesis, the score where we fight Zanza, who is suddenly much smaller than he was in that cutscene. I do like the design they go for Zanza at this point, where he starts looking like very much like a god, as you'd kind of expect, but also he looks a lot like the Bionis, because he is the Bionis, so it's all makes a lot of sense. He's spawned here with these two Zanza Guardians, and they can be surprisingly annoying if you let them. So I'm going to kill this one, and then hopefully, yes, we'll automatically target the next one. I would really focus on these before anything else, really. As ever, when you have a powerful enemy and surrounded by less powerful enemies, it may feel logical to target the powerful lad first, but fighting Zanza is deeply annoying if you're being bothered by his guardians at the same time. We've gone for the absolute classic party, the ones who started this all of Shulk, Rein, and Fiora. They're also just a really good match at the moment of Rein as a full tank, Fiora's a kind of semi-tank, a bit glass cannony in the Dunban fashion. Here we go, is an interesting thing.
Behold, supreme power!
during the fight with Zanza, in order to get visions, we have to make a button.
No! How can you still have visions?
It is strongly implied by lines like that that we're not supposed to be having visions, and to kind of fight against Zanza with, you know, the power of 2 Monados, 3 times sword drones, or do we topple him with final cross? We'll do sword drones, I think. That is spicy. But yeah, with Zanza with 2 swords, which each individually grant him the power of creation, should be able to direct the flow of ether and the flow of destiny in exactly the way he wants. And so he is understandably horrified by the fact that Shulk is having visions and still able to see and direct the passage of fate in that way, which is very cool. Monado cross. Oh, that I already shielded against that. That's fine. We'd done a chain attack, so I kind of forgot that it had been that much. But yes, it just wouldn't be a JRPG if your final boss wasn't against God, would it? Let's finish him off. Of course, it's not that easy.
You mere vessels dare to oppose the will of a god? Then I shall obliterate everything with my unimaginable power. Now, behold the true form of a united world!
Interesting and horrifying bit of design here. That he is clearly a mix of Bionis, Mechonis, and Telethia are the kind of the various bits that clearly feed into Zanza's design here. I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. He often opens this fight with something that gives him quite a lot of buffs. And I was ready to remove... There we go. See, there's a shit ton of buffs against him on the top thing. But if we purge, so he's got like all of his stats up, if we purge him... I missed. Purge missed. Turns out that can just happen. Vision time.
One future doesn't belong to you. You are all doomed.
That's with his right arm, Bionis Buster. That's going to be pretty fucking brutal. We should probably actually battle Soul to get the Monado up to full for that. Oh, we're slightly underleveled for him here, annoyingly. I was hoping we'd generally... Oh, shit. Well, there goes the aura. I was hoping we'd generally be alright, but we're below that annoying threshold where we're going to actually struggle to deal damage to him. I didn't think that applied to him, because as you see, his level is 3 question marks, rather than being real. Plonk.
This is the power of a god.
So we'll have to see how this goes. There's a good chance we might have to take another crack at this with ourselves leveled up just a little bit, to the point where we at least can deal him damage. But as we go, he might come down in health a little bit. But unfortunately, I have no way mid-fight of, you know, of reducing his, of leveling us up. See how we do in a chain attack, though. Yeah, a lot of misses. Let's cross him, see what happens.
Got it. Keep it up. I know.
Oh, we've toppled him a bit. Topple won't last very long, but we certainly can officially do it. Can't daze him, though. He's completely immune to daze. Yeah, it's the annoying thing I've complained about in the past of the game's arbitrary. Oh, well, he's more than... It doesn't tell you what level he is, but he's level 82. At least we do restart from this form, and at least here I am going to crack everyone's levels up a little bit. But yeah, it's just annoying that there is this artificial, oh yeah, you can't hit him at this point. It's like, but I'd be fine if I could. Genuinely, I could take on a boss at this high level, not a problem. But the game won't let me do that, which is kind of infuriating. But now at least we don't have the problem of missing, and we will find him much easier. We are ready for a chain attack, but I am just going to wait for him to do his opening world creator, or whatever his art is that usually gives him, world reconstruct, where he gives himself a lot of buffs, and will immediately... Oh, I should have eaten the buffs away as another good way of doing it, so that also chucks bleed on him. But there we go. we're in a pretty good way now. Literally, those 2 levels aren't actually going to do a lot in terms of the amount of damage we do to him. It's just the fact that we can hit him now. We can topple him briefly with Final Cross, but it's not worth it, whereas actually the amount of damage we do to him with Sword Drones 10 is totally worth that. Oh, we've got a really good chain attack going here, actually. Oh, and it's still going. Spicy. Good, we've taken a good quarter of his health out already. Yeah, he's a freakish but kind of cool design, this whole thing of having, like... Yeah, the fact that he's emerging from the chest looks a lot like a couple of the Telethia do. It reminds me of what's his name's Telethia, Callian's, because that still had his body kind of stuck out, and it makes sense. Like, literally everything we've encountered in the game so far has been somehow part of Zanza, so it makes sense for him to kind of embody all of that. In that sense, he's a perfect final boss. Let's double wind. This one probably won't extend it. We have extended. That's the other reason I'm choosing this party as well, just because we're the OG Classic Party, we have got excellent affinity, so chain extensions like this are going to come around a lot. I probably actually should have used Final Cross if only just for the actual power of it, because it is just a very powerful art, and Zanza, as you can imagine, he's a god. His defenses are pretty good. His ether defenses are actually less good. If you are struggling with Zanza, you can actually take him on remarkably well with a kind of Ricky, Sharla, Melia party. And there's a huge part of me that does like the idea of defeating this bastard with the hero pawn. Oh, vision time. Plonk. Goes without saying, you should probably go into this battle with Monado's shield fully leveled up so you can block any talent arts. Because he's got some powerful shits. But yeah, we're on, like, we're fine with that. That is not a problem. Right, I'm just going to get the Monado charged up a little bit more. Battle Soul it, I'll heal up Rhine. And then with all that ready, let's do a chain attack. We should probably Final Cross him just because it'll be very powerful. Actually, how powerful is ether resistance is pretty good. Again, he's a god. Probably should have expected this. But it's, yeah, his toppling him is essentially meaningless in this phase because his recovery meter on that is just so fast. But this is the thing, like those 2 levels. Oh fuck me! I thought I had shield up, but apparently not. Those 2 just fucking died anyway. But we should be fine. I think I'm going to kind of hold off on chain attacks from now on. Shadow Eye, please. Shadow Eye, Shadow Eye, Shadow Eye. Guys. Oh no, we're actually still fighting. I thought it was dead there. But yes, absolutely going to hold off on chain attacks for the rest of this because I think we do really need the healing that's going on. But we are doing relatively well against him here. That's the thing, because of this setup, oh, vision time, plonk. Is something I can block? Not something I can block. Well, I can armor against it, which is better than nothing. If I'm confident that Fiora can keep the aggro, I can speed her. But that means I have to be very careful to avoid drawing the aggro. So I'm just going to auto-attack him to build up my talent gauge. And make sure that, because that's the thing, if I draw the aggro, then speeding Fiora has been completely meaningless.
Instrument of destruction and rebirth. How can you have visions? You no longer possess the Monado. I don't know. It comes from the bottom of my heart. It shows me my enemy. It reveals the future I must change.
The future we see is not set in stone. There are infinite possibilities based on the paths we choose. You should be well aware of this notion, for that is how you have always existed.
That is a right for gods, and gods only! Why should we care? What's important isn't whether you can see the future or not. It's the will to make a choice, and the strength to seize your destiny. Our time has come. Our destiny is our own! Can it be? A Monado?
It is not only you that has the right. Every living thing has the freedom to choose the path they walk. And that is the future.
A third Monado has appeared.
How can this have happened? You are mere mortals!
So, if we look at the menu, we will briefly see we have now got the Monado 3, which annoyingly it doesn't put gems on by default, so let's quickly slap some of those on. And then I'm going to let this music play. So this music that we'll hear in this scene is called The God-Slaying Sword, appropriate name, and it's an absolute banger, so I'm going to let it play out.
Your existence cannot be permitted. I will destroy you. I'm really feeling it. Here we go. Take this. Impossible. How can such power dwell within you? Mine is the one true Monado, instrument of destruction and rebirth. Okay, Ryan. Here we go. Take this. Okay. I am a god! All that is and shall be! You are nothing! Yeah, well played! We did it! How's that? Sure! Everyone, let's go! Hang in there! Don't give up! You are all doomed! Let's do it! Alright, I'm feeling it! I cannot! No! I will not let you live! Take this! You're out! Jump! You're up! My turn! No! It cannot be! The power of a god cannot be overcome!
Zanza, this is the providence of the world. Even gods are merely beings restricted to the limited power determined by providence. That power, although great, is not unlimited.
That voice! Alvis! How dare you disobey me! Ah!
I am Monado. I was here at the beginning, and I will proclaim the end.
But that's impossible.
Shulk, it is time for you to choose. Does this world belong to Zanza, or does it belong to you?
That is something I decided long ago! Ah! That symbol. Today, we use our power to fell a god, and then seize our destiny! All that I am is fading. The memory of a god's existence, born from the chaos of creation. It is vanishing.
Where am I?
This is my home.
Your home?
Let's begin the experiment.
Whose voice was that?
It is Zanza, before he became a god, when he was simply a man of flesh and blood.
No! The results have not been confirmed! It's too dangerous!
And that voice. It's Monolith.
Ridiculous! It's perfectly safe. We are about to bear witness to the birth of a universe. Once, only a god could perform such a miracle. But today, mankind moves one step closer to the divine!
Yes!
It was simple curiosity. The curiosity of a single man that destroyed the universe and created a new one. A new universe. Your world was born. And so, two gods came into existence. Zanza and Monolith were lonely, so they created life in their own image.
And that was how we were born.
As the world advanced to each further stage, it was inherited by generations of different life forms. But over time, awareness of Zanza faded. Zanza feared this. In order to escape his own annihilation, he wished for a world in a perpetual cycle of destruction and recreation.
Bionis being filled with life. And the Telethia coming to wipe it out. It was all the will of Zanza.
It was. But the truth of the matter is that he longed for friendship.
His future. And our future. It might have been possible for them to coexist.
Correct. However, that time has passed. The old god was defeated by the new god that he himself created.
New god?
Yes. That is why I appeared before you, Shulk.
Alvis, what are you?
I am the administrative computer of a phase transition experiment facility. But that will mean little to you. To you, I am a machine. That is my original form.
Alvis?
This world is stagnant. It has expired. Therefore, I will ask you, its new god. What is your wish? Will you allow the world to continue to stagnate? Or will you allow it to evolve to the next level? The choice is yours to make.
I don't know. All I wanted to do was stop Zanza having his way, that's all. I cannot be a god.
Too right. You're great and all, but there's no way you're a god.
Everyone.
Look, don't worry, Shulk. None of us want to be gods anyway. And I don't really know what the future holds, but we just want to live our life as it comes.
Eating grub, sleeping, laughing, crying, sometimes arguing. Sounds all right?
Yes, he's right. And being with the ones we love, that's enough. Even so, we change little by little. Every day is a little different from the last. We do not know what the future will hold.
More fun not knowing. Ricky want to have fun.
Life's little surprises are what makes it great. We don't know what's going to happen. It's worrying sometimes, but it's also exciting. Don't you think?
Yeah. Isn't that called progress? Aren't we all continuously evolving? I'm not sure we need a more dramatic change than that.
Yeah. You're right. Little by little. Each day as it comes. That's how we should live.
That's our world.
Forgive my presumptuousness, but I recreated their personalities from your consciousness.
Alvis, it sounds like you don't think I can make my own decisions. I'm supposed to be the god.
Apologies. However, I have good reason. This world has little time remaining if left in this state. Have you made your decision? The choice is yours, Creator. Tell me your decision for the future of this world.
I won't decide. The future should be decided by each and every person in the world. And so, what we wish for is a world with no gods!
Are you trying to kill me?
I'm really sorry, Colonel.
Sorry? What do you mean, sorry? Squat jumps around the entire colony, 50 laps, now!
Please, Colonel.
Ah, yes. That's excellent. So, you can take the materials to District 4.
The restoration's coming along nicely.
Thanks to Melia and Vinea. The High Entia and Machina have some amazing technology.
We are happy to help. To live alongside one another in harmony. After all, I have no doubt this is what Lady Mayneth and Egil would have wanted.
Hear, hear. And may it last forever.
Dunban,
Fiora, what is it?
have you seen Shulk?
Oh, he just left. I don't know where he's gone, but he was with Ryan and the others.
Okay, thank you.
Fiora?
Yes?
It's nothing. Good luck.
If you're looking for Shulk, he is not here.
Amazing. It's like you've got eyes in the back of your head. What were you looking at? The sea?
I wasn't looking at anything in particular. If anything, Fiora, I was thinking. Thinking about the future that awaits us all.
Wow. You're so much more thoughtful than me.
Really? I don't think so. I was just answering your question.
But I know what you mean. You're right. We've been through a lot.
Yes. We have. I am grateful to all of you. It is because I met you that I experienced so much, and it is the reason I am here, now.
Yes. We're happy you're here too. Thanks, Melia. For everything. I'm glad I met you.
And I you.
Yeah. Almost got it.
Rain! Go, Rain! Oh, Ricky really hungry.
Put your back into it, Ryan. Are you okay?
It's salty. What's up with the water being so salty?
Ryan, you're terrible at this. When was the last time you fished?
I'm bad fisherman. Ricky won't eat big fish.
Give us a break. You try next time, Furball.
Oh, fishing is Ryan's job. Ricky's job is eating.
Hang on a sec. Isn't Ocker gonna have a massive go at you if you don't go back to her with 14 fish to feed all your little pond?
Oh, Ricky forgot. Wifey pond very angry if not catch more fish.
It ain't me she's gonna be angry with.
No, Ryan, catch fish now. Oh, fish, fish.
Here you are. The breeze feels so good.
It does.
What is it?
Oh, that hairstyle. It looks good on you, that's all. Yeah.
Really? Oh, I was thinking about growing it out, but... Hey, which do you prefer?
Both, of course.
Oh, come on. What am I supposed to say to that?
Sorry. Okay. It's great like that. Don't change it.
I'd forgotten what it feels like to do this. I wonder what the future has in store for us.
Who knows? I'm sure it will be full of ups and downs.
Ups and downs?
I don't know what the future holds. But that means I can imagine the possibilities. We can achieve anything we put our minds to.
Yeah. You're right.
Do you remember what the Monado, Alvis, said to us the last time we saw him?
Yes, of course.
Shulk. This new world is boundless. It is home to not only you, but many forms of life. I can see it. In this world, all life will walk towards the future, hand in hand.
One day, I hope I can meet them all. The people of this endless world.
Me too. We will. I know it.
We'll meet them. And whatever happens, we'll face our future together.
And there we have it. Fiorong? Is that what she's called in Japanese? Dixon, Zor... Yeah, those must be the Japanese spellings. That's very funny, Fiorong. I really like that final scene to the point where I'm actually willing to forgive it one of the things I hate a shit ton, which is lyric music as background music, especially when characters are then talking over that, is just really... I hate it. I hate it so much. But that final scene is really good for feeling like you've achieved something with the game. And it... Well, I'll talk about Xenoblade 2 and 3 in a second. Hell of a lot of revelations in that final stuff. Alvis's position as kind of the computer controlling an experiment run by Professor Klaus that accidentally destroyed the world. That was just started to be hinted at when, we were going through what was clearly our world, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, etc. But that kind of revelation that did exist in what was kind of our world is really interesting, and Xenoblade 2 explores that a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. And I'm told Xenoblade 3, which I have not played, does that more. Alvis's position as a computer is hinted at really strongly by, in that first fight with the Telethia, where you fight with Alvis as a party member, he has a couple of quotes which are absolutely give away his true nature. He quotes the Borg from Star Trek, saying, "Resistance is futile," when he uses an art. And he quotes Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey when he dodges an attack and says, "I'm afraid I can't let you do that." Both of which hint at his kind of AI-ish nature. And if you look at the whole way he talks, it does hint very much what he is up to. And Alvis is just a very interesting one to watch. Go back and rewatch this if you fancy it. Seeing what Alvis is up to, you see him in a very different light in the second way through, and his cooperation with Zanza and stuff, it is very, very different. As for Xenoblade 2 and 3, so Xenoblade 2 is related to this game. It is not directly. You can play through 95% of that game and not realise how they're connected, and then, well, if you're me, you'll realise the connection during one of the final scenes of Xenoblade 2 while you're on quite a crowded aeroplane, and proclaim quite loudly, "Oh shit!" when you put it together, and a lot of people will turn and look at you. But both this and Xenoblade 2 stand alone, but if you played both, they feed into each other really nicely, which is something I do very much appreciate. I'm never, I don't think, going to Let's Play Xenoblade 2. I really enjoyed it, but it is and I don't say this lightly, it is a much bigger game than this. This has been a huge amount of effort for me. We're not finished. We're not finished at all. But even where we are has been a huge effort, and this game means a lot to me personally. Xenoblade 2 I really enjoyed, but it doesn't quite grab me in the same way. I think, if anything, its story and its characters might be a bit better, but the game and the world as a whole, I love how Xenoblade works. I love the world it builds. I love how it ties in the characters to the world. The whole idea of affinity and getting everyone to know everyone. It gives me real strong kind of Majora's Mask vibes in some sense of, a lot of the quests are about if you know how everyone connects, and literally every named NPC in the game has a side quest that goes with them, which is really cool, and we still haven't done some of those. And it's just to do with, as I say, Xenoblade is the first game I firstly thought while I was first playing it, I was like, I think I might be playing my favourite game, but before I'd even finished it. And it's one of my favourite games that I have is my favourite game that I have zero nostalgia for. I played this game first when I was 22. So it's not like childhood nostalgia. It's one I discovered as an adult and have really enjoyed it for that. Xenoblade 2 I've really enjoyed and I really like what it does, and I'm very excited to play Xenoblade 3, but it's just not quite the same and it's too big. I'd want to do it 100% and I know I'm not going to. So where are we with this game then, as the credits wrap up? So first off, it's going to tell me here about New Game Plus. No, it isn't. It's going to give Monolith Soft's thing. We've got more to do with this game. So this is episode 101. I predicted when I started this game that it'd be 100 episodes. I was 101. Off by an episode. But there's still a lot more to do. We have a lot more side quests to do, mostly around Colony 6. And we have a fair chunk of post-game stuff to talk about. Here we go. Continuing from cleared data. Once you've cleared the game, loading the save file will give you the option to continue playing. This is at Prison Island just before you head up to the prison terrace and fight Dixon. Select New Game Plus lets you play the game from the beginning using your levels and items carried through from your first playover. All of your party's members' abilities, arts, and affinity are carried over. Money is carried over. Key items aren't, but other items are. Some items equipped when the game is cleared are automatically carried over. This includes the Monado 3. There are other things apart from items that cannot be carried over. Achievement records are, but achievement trials, the kind of, deal 100 and however many damage, fire up chain attacks X times, aren't. Affinity charts and quests aren't carried over. When playing again, try developing relationships with different characters and create complete quests that will lead to alternative futures. I've been showing those already, but I will talk about that in a future episode of kind of the New Game Plus stuff, and Shulk now holds the true Monado, so he will not receive the Monado again in subsequent playthroughs, but you will have the Monado 3 and the ability to actually choose a look for the Monado. It's playing the Reminiscence music. Very odd. But anyway, let's return to the title screen, which has changed a little now. But yeah, we get this shot of the party sitting on the shores of the new world. Again, I do really like that final cutscene for tying it together. I just really enjoy the story of this game. I think, whilst it actually does 100% do the JRPG trope of attack and dethrone God and chart Shulk's own progression to becoming a god, which is, I mentioned earlier, the way this ties in with Dune, Frank Herbert's Dune quintilogy, and one of those is that Dune very much talks about the process of becoming a god, which is kind of what this deals with. There's a hell of a lot in common. But I like how relatable its characters still and their struggles become. It doesn't, while it zooms out, it doesn't lose perspective, and it's in fact that perspective at the end which is what makes Shulk decide, no, I don't want to be a god. I want everyone in this world to have the right to determine their own future, which is a really important thing. I will be doing another, I expect, 15 to 20 episodes of this, which will be some side content, like the stuff we haven't done so far, the rest of the heart-to-hearts, the super bosses, talking about New Game Plus, and that kind of thing. Then we'll be taking a break. I've got a non-Xenoblade series lined up, which I'm quite excited to do, which I think will be a lot of fun. It's just a little casual thing. Then I will be coming back and doing the DLC for this Future Connected, which takes place following this. It follows Shulk and Melia in their attempts to retake Alchemoth. I've never played that, nor have I planned that. I'm gonna, with the help of the sprite, kind of vaguely plan out what to do, without spoilers, but like how to make sure I kind of roughly 100% it, but I'm not going to be focusing on it too much because I don't want to plan it out, because I don't know where the story goes, and I'm excited for that, and I'm not going to practice it. I'm going to approach it completely blind, so that anyone who hasn't seen it can see it through my eyes in the same kind of... I know Xenoblade really fucking well, but I've never played that, and I've miraculously avoided spoilers. Colony 6, of all places, the Bionis Crotch. So that should be really interesting, but, I mean, for now, I might take a couple of days off just because, well, as we currently stand, I've only edited up to episode 93, and there's a couple of those high-end tier themed episodes which have got a lot of edits, so it might take me a bit before we then come back to episodes, but we will be back before long with a load of Colony 6 shit, and I say shit, and that is kind of fair. There's a reason most of the quests I haven't done whilst playing through the game, as it currently stands. There's a reason I haven't done them, because they're mostly just a bit ass. They don't have particularly interesting stories, they have annoying requirements or those kind of things. A lot of the stuff in Colony 6 is just a bit meh. And it doesn't make sense to do it while the world's supposed to be under attack by Telethia and whatnot. But anyway, this has been a, 55-minute episode. I knew this episode was going to start when we reached memory space, and it was going to end when I was finished. So I'll wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you'll join me soon for wrapping up Xenoblade Chronicles. Thank you very much, and good day.